New York Jets and the New York Giants are going to be playing this week. It is now 3 in favor of the Jets. Now, it is a cheap 3, so a soft 3, as we call it in the industry. 35.5 is your total in this game. Steven, this moved off the 2.5 this morning when we got news that both of the starting corners for the Jets are going to be in and playing this week. It sat 2.5 all week long. It moved on to the 3 after we get that little bit of information. 35.5 in an NFL game is a ridiculously low total, yet on principle, I cannot go in and bet the over given just what I've seen on the offensive side of the ball from both of these teams. I just can't do it. I should. We all probably should, but I can't do it. Do you have anything here in the Jets and Giants?
No bet for me. I started to consider it once we got official word that Tyrod Taylor was going to be the quarterback. He's been a little less than league average the past couple of weeks in his advanced metrics in those 2 games, but facing this Jets defense is a different animal. And I don't know, maybe Adam has an observation here to tell me what I'm missing, because, EPA and success rate still have the Jets kind of middle of the road defensively, but they have made Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts look silly now at this point. So I think they're better than what some of these metrics are maybe saying. So I can't believe in Tyrod Taylor to take this big of a step up in class against this defense to get there to back them as a home dog, as much as I would really like to against Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Adam, we look at this and like some of the advanced metrics, interestingly, don't match up with kind of the PFF stuff, which is a little bit more subjective, right? Where they're going in and just grading players off of watching every single play and all the metrics that they value. They actually have the Jets as a number 4 defense overall in the NFL. But that doesn't match up with some of the other stuff that we see with this Jets team here. The Giants better than anybody. Can they find success at all against this Jets team?
Let's start by noting this as one of a handful of injury report games in the NFL. The Giants injury report is one you're going to have to see before you can feel comfortable betting this game. They have 3 starting offensive linemen who are limited practice, questionable to go. So you really need to see where it lands, especially with Andrew Thomas and John Michael Schmitz. You need to see where both of them end up. You're getting Tyrod Taylor. You more than likely on the Jets side are going to have a team that's a little bit healthier than the Giants one way or the other. Now, how much have we adjusted what we think about Zach Wilson, right? Are we going to look at Zach Wilson and say he is no longer the reason the Jets can't win a football game? Mm-hmm. Now, the Giants defense has looked a little bit better. I don't know what to credit it to, quite honestly. I don't know what to say about the game against the Bills, and I don't know what to say about the game against Washington, quite honestly. And that's, again, as someone who watches a lot more of this team than anybody really should in 2023. So the biggest thing that I look at with this game is that Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed both being back in means that the one thing the Giants offense had been able to pick up with Tyrod Taylor, which was the deep ball, is going to be eliminated, especially with Sauce Gardner back in. That was the thing that was making the Giants offense go in the last few weeks. I would not count on that in this situation, which also means that if he does not have the ability, Tyrod Taylor, to find a one-on-one matchup pre-snap and just put it up and hope that he's going to get his guy, then he's probably going to be exposed to this bad offensive line more the way that Daniel Jones was exposed to this bad offensive line, because he's been able to overcome that in the past few weeks. So I have a very strong lean to the Jets. Keep in mind, there is absolutely no home field advantage to be had in this game with both teams playing in the same stadium. So there's not really much of an adjustment to make there. I have the Jets rated on the other side of a field goal against the Giants. So it's not quite there yet because I want to see the final injury report, but this is the next of my hard leans to the Jets.
Yeah, and I think now, too, we can pretty comfortably say just on the Jets' backfield, I wouldn't hate any Breece Hall props in this thing. The run defense for the Giants has been pretty poor so far this year, and we kind of thought maybe that Breece Hall would be in a timeshare, but it's pretty much his backfield. Like this, just it's all Breece Hall for the Jets. And so when you start to look at these numbers, it's fairly low. It's like 61.5 yards or something like that for Breece Hall. And so I think if you look at that and factor in that he's really not getting carries siphoned off from him really at all in this thing, that's at least an appealing prop side if you wanted to get some exposure to this game in another fashion. Yeah, Steven?
I'll just say that, as we record right now, Friday afternoon, there are some juice threes on the Giants. So if for whatever reason we were to get to 2.5 in this game, even if you have to pay some extra juice, I would be in on the Jets at that point. And maybe we'll get there this weekend. We don't know right now as we record Friday afternoon.